Emilio Aguinaldo is one of the most famous and controversial heroes in Philippine history. His life and leadership were marked by success, such as when he declared the independence of the Philippines. But they were also marked by tragedy and brutality, such as when he played a major role in the deaths of Bonifacio and Luna. Aguinaldo was born on March 22, 1869, in Kawit, during the turbulent Spanish colonial rule. The Aguinaldo family was wealthy and prominent, and his father Carlos was the governor of the municipality. He studied at the Latran College but did not graduate. When the revolution began, he led the revolt and liberation of Kawit. After that, Aguinaldo won several major victories. While Aguinaldo was winning, Andres Bonifacio was losing in Manila. Because of this, Aguinaldo's influence grew stronger and Bonifacio's grew weaker. Although Bonifacio was still considered the leader of the revolution, Aguinaldo challenged him in an election in Tejeros in 1897. Aguinaldo won and was declared the first president of the Philippines. But Aguinaldo's allies insulted Bonifacio, who later decided not to honor the election. Later, he declared Bonifacio a traitor to the movement and sentenced him to death. At first, he only wanted to exile Bonifacio, but eventually agreed to kill him. Bonifacio's death was brutal. There were those who said that because they wanted to save on bullets, Bonifacio was hacked to death with bolos. In 1897, the fighting stopped briefly when Aguinaldo signed a peace treaty with the Spaniards. But when the war broke out between the Spaniards and the Americans, Aguinaldo resumed the fight. On June 12, 1898, Aguinaldo declared the independence of the Philippines. But just a few months later, war broke out between the Philippines and America. It was during this time that one of the most controversial events in Aguinaldo's leadership happened. In June 1899, the famous General Antonio Luna was assassinated. After that, Aguinaldo lost one battle after another. In March 1901, Aguinaldo was captured by the Americans. He swore allegiance to America and formally surrendered the Philippines. But some heroes, like General Malvar and Mabini, continued to fight. In the next 3 decades, he lived a quiet life away from the public eye. However, in the presidential elections of 1935 he ran against Manuel Quezon. He lost by a big margin, but he didn't accept the results and claimed he was cheated. During the Second World War, Aguinaldo was one of the prominent Filipinos who collaborated with the Japanese. He was almost appointed president, but the Japanese eventually decided on Jose Loro. When the Japanese were defeated, Aguinaldo went into hiding, but he was arrested and charged with treason. He said he only cooperated with the Japanese to protect the Filipinos. In 1948, he was among those granted amnesty by then-President Rojas. Emilio Aguinaldo died on February 6, 1964. Today, the deaths of Luna and Bonifacio continue to haunt his legacy. But he is still considered a hero for his fight against the Spaniards and Americans and for declaring the independence of the Philippines.